Fox 5 News at 6 starts right now.
Thrilled to be here in the heart of Georgia to launch our incredible new nationwide grassroots effort. Blacks, think of this, Blacks for Trump, Black Voices for Trump, African Americans for Trump. Call it whatever the hell you want, right?
President Trump makes a campaign stop in Atlanta to launch his Black Voices for Trump coalition. And Fox 5 was the only station to speak one-on-one with the president before his big announcement. Good evening. I'm Russ Spencer.
And I'm Portia Bruner. Fox 5's Elise Edie was the only Atlanta journalist to get a one-on-one interview with the president today. She joins us live now from downtown Atlanta with more on that exclusive interview.
And Elise, you talked to him about a wide range of issues.
I did. We talked about everything from black voters here in Georgia to how he's hoping to increase his voter base when it comes to them. We also talked about the game that President Trump will be attending this weekend. He answered all of my questions, though, except for one.
And as you know, the polls have been very good for us now. And if you look at Black Voices for Trump today, it's an overflow crowd.
In Atlanta, to recruit more African-American voters, President Donald Trump says he's already on the right track.
While we're doing well overall, African Americans are doing proportionately better, and they've done better than they've ever done. I said that was going to happen during the campaign, and we've produced. So I think we're going to have tremendous African American support.
So the impeachment inquiry, President Trump, how is this impacting your campaign for re-election?
I'll tell you, my poll numbers are higher than they've been ever. The fundraising has been through the roof. I must say, look, it's a witch hunt. It's a phony deal based on one conversation that was a perfect conversation. It's a phony deal by a corrupt politician named Schiff, and Pelosi should go back and clean up her own district in San Francisco.
I want to take you back to 2017, President Trump. You tweeted in regard to John Lewis, and you were talking about the 5th congressional district, which is where we are right now. You mentioned that it was crime infested. Do you still feel the same way?
Well, if it's crime infested, it is. I mean, if you have crime, and we have to get it out. And we've been actually putting a lot of money into this area because, I mean, frankly, Georgia's coming a long way under this administration.
So Georgia's a really important state when it comes to the 2020 election, with there being 2 Senate seats open as well. So what's the message for Republicans to maintain control of Georgia?
Well, you have a great gentleman named David Perdue, and he's running, as you know, he's your senator. He fights so much. He loves this state. He loves your state. And David is running hard, and I don't see how anybody can beat him, frankly. As you know, Brian Kemp, who's your governor, is going to be making a choice for Johnny Isakson, who's been so incredible for so long for the whole state. But they'll be making a choice very shortly, and I'm sure he'll pick somebody that's terrific.
So you're headed back here for the LSU, this direction at least, the LSU-Alabama game. Your choice. Your pick.
Well, I better not do that, but I will tell you that 2 fantastic teams. They're both undefeated. They're great teams, and I think you're going to have an amazing game.
So not really an answer on that one. That'll be his 3rd sporting event in 3 weeks. Obviously, President Trump keeping a very busy schedule. And as you heard, he was very candid about the importance of Georgia in the upcoming election, and also the importance of getting more black voters as well. So we are now officially 361 days away from the presidential election. Russ and Portia?
Elise, as you know, the president defeated Hillary Clinton 3 years ago here in Georgia by 5 percentage points. And we've had a very close governor's race since then. Do you get the sense that he feels that Georgia could be close for him next year?
You know, what I got the sense of in getting to speak to President Trump was that he's very confident. He's confident in his track record. He's confident in the fact that he plans to win this election. I don't think he thinks it's going to be by a close margin as well. He's very confident that he'll take the state. So that's kind of the sense that I got from him, is that he's looking toward the future, and he's saying that he's polling better than ever. He also said his fundraising efforts are better than ever as well. So just getting a sense of a lot of confidence coming from President Trump.
Well, again, you were the only one to have a chance to speak to him. Well done. Thank you very much. After our exclusive interview, President Trump took the stage at the Georgia World Congress Center.
Yeah, as part of his re-election campaign, he unveiled his Black Voices for Trump coalition, an effort to bring in the support of minority voters.
Fox 5's Angelique Proctor attended the kickoff event and joins us now live. Angelique, what happened there?
Well, President Trump told this crowd he plans to campaign for every African-American vote in 2020. I got to tell you, this was an energetic crowd. They were constantly cheering 4 more years during the president's hour-long address this afternoon here at the Georgia World Congress Center. He asked African-Americans to switch over to the Republican Party, where they will be greeted with policies that promote lower unemployment for African-Americans, a lower poverty rate, and conversely, millions more jobs. Take a listen.
We've created 6.7 million new jobs since the election, a number that, if I would have said that to the fake news media back there, look at all those cameras. If I would have said that, if I would have said that during the campaign, I would have been excoriated.
Now, the president also told this crowd of African Americans that the GOP chooses and celebrates life on that very controversial issue of abortion.
Virtually every top Democrat also now supports late-term abortion, ripping babies straight from the mother's womb. That's why I've asked Congress to prohibit extreme late-term abortion, because Republicans believe that every child is a sacred gift from God.
Now, this was an invited crowd, between 300 to 400 people, that included a lot of folks from Atlanta, like Dr. King's niece, Alveda King, as well as Herman Cain, who ran for president a few years ago. But we talked to a homeless man who now lives in Forsyth County, who said, he was once homeless. He now is doing very well. He says he believes President Trump is the leader for the future.
I also voted for President Barack Obama, okay? And honestly, Obama did not talk about these issues enough. The fact that he's willing to come into districts that sometimes even hostile to him, where people are protesting against him, he said, hey, these are issues, and I want to talk to you all about the issues, but also let's talk about the solutions as well.
Now, the goal here was to get more African Americans behind President Trump in 2020. The president is very hopeful that this national campaign will take off. We are reporting live from downtown. Angelique Proctor, Fox 5 News.
All right, Angelique, thank you. And while Trump supporters gathered at the Georgia World Congress Center, protesters gathered at Centennial Olympic Park. A protest was organized by the Georgia Alliance for Social Justice. The group sees today's kickoff event as an insult to social justice values and work that's been ongoing in the Atlanta community without any help from this Trump administration. And the Black Church PAC is a coalition of denominations encouraging voter education and registration. And one of its local leaders says President Trump has proven his administration does not have a genuine concern for the black electorate. Pastor Jamal Bryant of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church also describes the president's voter initiative as a ploy to capitalize on Atlanta, where minorities are the majority.
This is the hour that we are not choking on the fumes of propaganda, but where is the substance? He is not a candidate, he's an incumbent. And because he's an incumbent, his record speaks for himself.
Well, Pastor Bryant told Fox 5's Kerry Charles the president has failed black voters when it comes to his education policies, truly engaging in criminal reform versus it being a celebrity-driven effort, and by not meeting with civil rights organizations. You can hear more tonight from Dr. Bryant on Fox 5 News at 10.
Let's turn to the weather now. The weekend is almost upon us, and so is some very cold weather, but it looks nice outside right now.
It looks nice right now. Feels nice? That's a whole different story. Chief Meteorologist David Chandley with a look at the forecast for tonight and this weekend.
Yeah, Portia and Russ, it's time to kind of get out the winter jacket. Yeah, we're going to need it for tonight, and then we're going to need it next week, certainly. We'll talk more about that in just a sec. Hey, we've got some high, thin cirrus clouds out there, but those aren't the rain producers. The rain producers have been well down here to our south. Yeah, that's hanging out down towards Florida and South Georgia, lower Alabama. This high's building on in here. It's going to kick the drier air and the colder air in here overnight. So get ready for temperatures, well, down below the average. This isn't record cold, but it's certainly below where we normally would find things, even in the second week of November. We're down into the 40s already, some 50s still hanging into Noonan and Thomaston, Covington and Athens. already 40 in Blairsville. We have ourselves a freeze warning in effect for tonight, so we'll watch these temperatures quickly down through the 40s by 11 o'clock tonight with a basic clear sky, very light wind. And from the mountains to the south side, we're going to find areas and pockets right around 32 or below. Frost is likely, and we're going to need to protect all the plants that you've had out on the back deck and back porch from earlier, because they're going to get zapped tonight with temperatures like this in the low and the mid 30s by early in the morning. Blairsville and Rome and places like Ellijay, Hiawassee, Blue Ridge, Clayton going to be into the 20s by early on your Saturday morning. Then we'll try to rebound with some sunshine come Saturday afternoon, but not a whole lot of success there. Mid to upper 50s, and that's 10 degrees below the average. See a little moderation in here the back half of the weekend, and then a big time cold snap next week. We'll get to all that coming up in about 20 minutes.
All right, David, thank you. We continue to follow breaking news tonight. Tragic news. Police have just announced they have found the body of a missing Clark Atlanta student. Alexis Crawford disappeared more than a week ago, and now her roommate and the roommate's boyfriend are suspects in her murder. Fox 5's Elizabeth Rollins joins us now live with more on this breaking news. Elizabeth?
Yeah, obviously a tragic end to that extensive search. And like you said, 2 suspects now will be facing charges for her murder, including Alexis's roommate and her roommate's boyfriend. And of course, investigators say that one of those suspects led them to her body earlier today in DeKalb County at a park near Columbia Drive. Of course, this comes on the heels of that extensive search. She was missing for more than a week. 21-year-old Alexis Crawford was last seen on October 30th. Of course, the motive and circumstances surrounding her disappearance and murder are still very much unclear, but investigators say she did file a police report just days before she went missing. Listen to what the chief had to say about that.
The department did take a police report from Alexis Crawford on October 27th, and this is a few days prior to her being reported missing. In this report, Alexis described unwanted kissing and touching from Baron Brantley. Baron, who is the boyfriend of Jordan Jones.
Now, just moments ago, Clark Atlanta University sent out a statement saying that they're offering their deepest condolences, obviously, to the family. They're also going to be they'll have counselors available for any students who may want to take advantage of those services as well. I also spoke to a representative from the family just moments ago. We'll hear more from him tonight at 10 and 11. For now, we're live from Atlanta Police Headquarters. Elizabeth Rollins, Fox 5 News.
Certainly a heartbreaking end to this story. Elizabeth, thank you. Well, 2 men are behind bars in Clayton County tonight. Clayton County authorities charged Dion Ties and Amorion Bryce in a robbery and murder at a Chevron gas station. Their victims, 28-year-old Christopher Barnes. Now his heartbroken family is working to make sense of the tragedy as they prepare to bury their son. Fox 5's Janice Yu spoke to the Barnes family about their devastating loss.
I don't wish ill on the person who did it, but I do want that my son get justice.
A normally busy restaurant was empty and dark on Friday as the owners and parents of Christopher Barnes tried to pick up the pieces after a tragedy.
He did not deserve it. He did not deserve to die. He was simply getting gas to come back.
Verica and Austin Tobin Williams tell me their 28-year-old son left the family restaurant Wednesday afternoon and went to the Chevron on Rex Road, just about 10 minutes away. That's when police say 18-year-old Dejon Ties shot and killed Barnes during an attempted robbery.
We should not have to be preparing for our son burial.
I was actually on pump number 5. Trying to get some gas.
Monique says she was one of the many people at this gas station just moments after the shots were fired. She says she's heard about incidents at this location before, but was devastated when she found out who was killed.
And that was even more heartbreaking that, they're a family-owned restaurant, very loving people. But we're getting ready for Thanksgiving, and his family is getting ready to lay him to rest.
The family says they're thankful for the support they're receiving as word continues to spread throughout the community. They say it's a source of strength as they prepare to say goodbye to their son.
He's full of life. He's loving. He's caring. He's very giving.
Janice Yu, Fox 5 News.
A man faces several charges after police say he ran a red light and crashed into an unsuspecting victim, killing her. I'm Claire Sims in Gwinnett County. Why police say he may not be the only one facing charges.
I'm Morris Diggs in Locust Grove. Before the school day even got started, an emergency. 4 teenage girls ingesting some kind of drugs. The fire department was called. We're going to have that story, and we'll talk to parents, nervous parents. That's just ahead.